Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danny Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello, welcome back everybody. It's a really big week tonight. This for Country Kickback. We've got so many shows coming, so we've got some really exciting ones tonight. We've got Raechel Whitchurch. She's going to join us now to have a talk about her new album and her single, and we've got Shine joining us at about 7:15 from, I think they're from Austria. I think that's where they're based tonight, so we're going to have a chat to them. And then we've got some more shows coming through the week, so I hope you're all well. I hope you've had a great weekend. Tell us what you've been doing. And hi Brendan, hi Kaz, hi Jan, nice to see you all. I might welcome Raechel into the room. Hello.
Here I am. Great to have me back again. Time number 2, right?
Number 2, yeah. I was looking up it wasn't last year, wasn't it? It was the end of last year. And I was like, no, it was this year. And I had to look up dates. I'm like, that's not right. It doesn't feel right.
Around November of last year, because it was my third single, which was You Ain't One of Us.
Yes.
And that was released, I think, early November. So it must have been just after that.
I couldn't believe it. Has it been that long? But wow, it has.
Yes. It happened in this current climate. So a month, like about a year.
Exactly right. You've been really busy.
You've been so busy. I mean, we're all busy. Everyone's busy. But yes, I have been busy with touring and busy with album stuff. And so it's nice to finally be out playing shows again. That's just been such a...
How good is it to say I've been busy touring?
I know. After 2020, when there was like no shows, and I was thinking back to the day, like, what were the last shows I did before it all stopped? And I think, we didn't know obviously at the time. The last shows we did was we did a run of shows with Fanny Lumsden on her Country Halls tour, which is actually just about to start again very, very soon. But that was like the last shows we did, and then we had more coming, but we had a couple of weeks off, and then obviously it all happened, and that was the end.
And now you've been on tour with Adam Harvey.
That's right. And so we were meant to start this tour way back in June of 2020, and then a long time ago. And then that obviously got pushed because COVID and so on and so forth, and so all the dates had to be rescheduled. And so we started this tour in February, and we've done it ever since then. Obviously, coming home, after shows, not living on the road, but going away, most weekends for shows, and that runs until November of this year. So a whole year of touring.
Yeah, that's exciting. It must just feel so good.
Yeah, it's just great, to be out playing music again, and to be meeting people again, and just seeing people react to the new songs as well, which is always fun.
Yeah, and you've got your new album and you've got your single as well. But the thing is, your songs from last year are still new to playing to crowds, aren't they? You've released them, 6 months ago, but to people who are just hearing you now, they haven't got to see that live. So it would be like singing a whole lot of new stuff for people. That it'll be great, it'll be exciting, and
exactly, yeah. And I found Home was my first single, and we released that in March, March 20 actually, and that was literally the day they locked down the country, and that feels like 1,000 years ago. But you're right, I haven't played, I've released 4 singles since that, and 3 other singles, and now for the first time I'm getting to play live, and so it's really nice to see people connecting with the song in person rather than just getting messages and stuff on on Facebook or Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, it's so good. Now I want to talk about the new album, and tell us. I know you've obviously been sitting on some of these songs and trying to release them, and you waited deliberately to release the album now for when you're back on the road.
100%, yeah. And we just didn't want to release a record when we couldn't tour it. And so, you know, I was hoping to get it out last year, but it just wasn't the right time. And so we just made an executive decision, like my team and I, that we would wait until we were able to tour again. And that felt really bad, you know, just being like, well, we can't make a release date. We just got to wait. And so I didn't love that. But, you know, it finally happened. And so we released it April 16. And my husband was like, that's a risky day to release it because it's a week before my birthday. And he was like, you know, so depending on how the album does in the first week, he's like, either really great birthday or really bad. And I was like, listen, play big, win big. I was like, you go all in, see what happens. He was like, you can also like play big and then lose big. Yeah, but I'm a perpetual optimist, so we put it out and had our fingers crossed, and it's done really well so far, which is lovely.
And you definitely won big. We were just talking a few minutes ago, #1 on ARIA charts.
Yes, on the ARIA Australian Country Albums chart. Highest selling record on release week, which was just, you know, crazy. Like, and we had a bunch of we actually had 3 goals for the record. You know, we're kind of, you know, in our vision for, you know, making this album, and the one of them was that we'd hoped we would get a top 10 album. And so I was like, I would have been happy with 10, you know, and so to get, you know, #1, I just, you know, it was beyond anything I thought was possible. So, which is incredible.
Now you've set the bar pretty high.
No, listen, I'm like, I must have fluked it. I'm like, that's my one #1 I'll ever have. So I was like, I'm clinging onto it and posting about it 1,000 times because I'm just so happy and so proud.
It's so lovely to see. As I said to you before, I have got to hear the whole album. I've been listening to Don't Be Afraid, which is beautiful. I love that song. And it's tell me about Don't Be Afraid first, and then we can go through the album a bit more.
Yeah, love that. I wrote Don't Be Afraid. It was actually the very last song that I wrote, I think, before I went into the studio. And I was actually talking to someone earlier today about the record, and they were like, you know, had you saved up all these songs and, you know, you had all these songs ready to go for the album? And I'd said to them, well, actually, I had a bunch. And then I got to, like, you know, 6 or 8 months out before the album. And then I was like, nah, I'm going to rewrite the whole album. Like, you know, I'm going to start again and write all fresh stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I think I had like all but 2 songs. I think, like, so 2 were from like an older period, like within the last 3 years. But most of the album I wrote in, like, you know, the 8 to 10 months leading up to the record. So it felt like it all kind of fit really well together, I think, because it was from, you know, the same sort of time of my life. But Don't Be Afraid was the last one I wrote, and I wrote that 2 weeks before I went to the studio. I had the idea. I know I was really, you know, pushing, like, I had enough songs, and so I was like, maybe there's another one, I don't know. And I was kind of like, you know, pushing a little, you know, I had this idea in my head, and I was, you know, sort of, you know, could envision what it sounded like and the lyrics, and then you know, I played it to my husband, which I usually do, play my songs to my husband first. And so I didn't have the whole thing. I just played him what I had and asked what he thought. And he normally doesn't, you know, really give much specific feedback. Okay. He just, either I like it or I don't like it. And he hardly ever says he doesn't like it, because he knows that, like, when you first create a, you know, when you first create a song, you're not really, like, I don't know, you're not really wanting to hear negative feedback, right? Like, you're still and so you're like, negative feedback. And so anyway, wrote it, played it to him, wrote some of it, played it to him, and he was like, I love it, it's really great. And he's like, but I feel like it's a bit negative. He's like, what about, like, you know, you start it with this lyric instead? And he actually had, like, some lyrical ideas. Oh, yeah. Which, you know, we've been married 11 years and he's never done that before. So I was like, so we sat down and kind of fell into it and started writing the song together. So then before we knew it, like, the song was done, and we had the song, we'd written it together, and that's the first song we ever wrote together. And I feel like it's such, like, you know, just a message of hope, such an encouraging song. Yeah. Wrote it well before 2020, you know, like well before COVID. So, like, you know, but I feel like now releasing it, it feels like a really, like, nice time to be putting, like, such a positive, you know, message out into the world.
Absolutely. Have you written a song since?
No. We're one for one, you know.
Yes. It's gone on to a #1 album. Stop at the top, he reckons.
He's like, I'm too good for you. I've had my one hit. I'm like, all right.
Is he trying to take the credit? Is he trying to take the credit? It's that one.
I was like, he clearly wants some of my royalties. I was like, it's cool. You can have your percentage of $2. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's not much these days.
I'll share. You can maybe buy an ice cream by the end of the decade.
Yeah, people were talking about one of my songs the other day, and like one of my songs on Spotify, it's had like 250,000 streams, and people are like, that's amazing. I'm like, I know, I got like $7. It's incredible.
I can nearly buy a glass of wine.
Anyway, it's very funny, just how the different things about the music industry and how it all works. But look, I just love making music, and so I'm it's not really about the money. I mean, sometimes it is, but with stuff like that, it's about 250,000 people having heard a song, which is great.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier as well. We're all tired, we're all overworked, but it's not about that. It's about the enjoyment and about the releasing, and it's just something about it. It just drags you in, doesn't it?
It does. Once it's in your blood, your music.
Now I know you do a song for it, so I remembered this time. I'm going to let you do the song, and then we might come back and talk a bit more about the album.
Let me get my little computer moving back so I can fit my guitar in here.
Here's one she prepared earlier. I'll give you the room.
All right, I'll play Don't Be Afraid for you, which is the new single. And I don't think I've played this song yet on radio or on a show, so first time. So the song's called Don't Be Afraid. It goes like this. Sun's coming up, the day has arrived, where new dreams are growing, broken hearts mend. We all have hopes didn't work out. Nothing says we can't be hopeful again. So don't be afraid of what might become. Just take one step and your journey's begun. You know that perfect love drives out all fear. So don't be afraid, my dear. Children run free, old men sit and smile. They both know the secret to life in a way. These big moments come just once in a while. What matters most is what we do each day. So don't be afraid of what might become. Just take one step and your journey's begun. You know that perfect love drives out all fear. So don't be afraid, my dear. You can stay safe and live with regret. What will you find if you take that first step? So don't be afraid of what might become. Just take one step and your journey's begun. 'Cause you know that perfect love drives out all fear. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, my dear.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful song.
Thank you. Not a problem. Oh.
Is that out of the album? Is that the one that you enjoy playing the most? Because it was.
I enjoy playing all of them, but I really love playing I Found Home and also the title track Finally Clear. They're probably two of my favorites. I tend to enjoy the songs that mean the most to me, probably the much.
Yeah.
Songs the most that mean the most to me. If that makes sense. Yeah,
absolutely. It does. Yeah, and I was about to say that the album title is Finally Clear. So tell us about, as you were saying, you wrote all the songs quite quickly together.
Yeah.
And you had songs for the album. That's a big thing to, completely change everything right at the air and go, no, I'm rewriting the whole thing. Tell us about the process and a bit about some of the songs on the album.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of songs just because I've been songwriting since I was so little. I started songwriting when I was probably 10 or 11 and really started taking it seriously when I was around 12, 13 and started writing for my family band. So I've got like a multitude of songs, but and I thought, I guess part of me, because the whole album was a process of deciding that I was going to give it a proper crack and I was going to give it everything I had. And so I think part of me was like, stay safe. You've got these songs. Don't mess with that. Just, do that. And then I think as I got more and more confidently into it, I was like, no, maybe I think I can do better. And so I think it was more or less like, the more I believed in myself and the more I was like, no, you give it a proper shot. I thought, no, actually, I can do better. And then songs just started coming out of me. And so I just kind of rolled with it, as songs started coming out, I thought, okay, I'll write more. And then before I knew it, I kind of like had this whole new selection of songs were really, consistent with, my life over the last 2 to 3 years. And I felt like that, it just felt like a fresher, it felt, cleaner. It felt like it made more sense to me as an artist and a lot more authentic as well. And also just, believing in myself and thinking, no, you can do this, Raechel the past wrote these songs, but, Raechel that's here today can also write, new songs. So yeah, it was a really beautiful process. Yeah.
It feels good, to have that level of confidence now. I mean, I know that, you've gone through so much different changes and things with your music, and finally to get that out there and be able to say, yeah, I've got that confidence that I can do it now. That must feel really good.
Oh, and look, it's like every human being, like the confidence comes and goes, right? Like some days I'm confident and then other days I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Like, and so I think it's just like every human being has kind of the ebbs and flows of life where you believe in yourself and then you start doubting yourself. And so I think it's just, trying to really zone in on those times where you're feeling good and confident and then getting the work done, right? Because that it might not last forever. Tomorrow I might feel like I can't do it again. So yeah.
You definitely all have that, that's for sure. Now, tell us where people find the album.
Yes, so it is obviously available online, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all the places, which is great. And, we love people streaming it, and that's amazing. We also have it available for sale in a physical copy on my website, which is raechelwhitchurch.com. And we did something a little bit different with the record this time. So we have a physical CD, which is now available. We also are doing pre-orders for a vinyl record.
Ooh.
And so I've never done vinyl, but I've never had a need to do vinyl before. And so I really wanted to do vinyl for this album. And so we have a black vinyl and we also have a limited edition clear vinyl. My husband really wanted to do a clear vinyl so he could say it was vinylly clear. And so okay, dad jokes. So that was our whole thinking for doing the clear vinyl, was just being able to say clear. We have both of them available for pre-sale. I believe that we'll have them in our hands like early June, and that's when we'll send them out. But we also have one other thing, and that's for people who wanted to buy, a physical copy, whether it be vinyl, whether it be the album, the CD. We actually put 2 bonus tracks on the physical copies because I feel like it's amazing that people want to stream and love that, like completely support that. like people who do go out and buy the actual physical copies of the album, like that's kind of special, and not everyone does that. And so we wanted to say thank you to those people. So we added 2 bonus tracks on the record that that you can't actually get online. You have to buy a physical copy to get them, which is
that is beautiful. And when you're live, do you do those songs so people can have a hear?
So it's even more amazing. Like every song I do live at the moment is all from my brand new album. And so people always like, did you play, like, are these songs on here? I'm like, every single song is on that album, all the songs I played tonight, which is really special.
That is so good. Are you coming to Tassie on this tour? I haven't seen Tassie dates yet.
No, we're not at this stage. We're hoping that it might happen, but we don't have. And the problem was we had plans to do all sorts of things on the Adam Harvey tour, in terms of like routing and where we were going. But because we had to pick up all of the dates from 2020 and push 2021, the year got filled super quickly, and so that's why we're on the road from February to November. And so we're hoping that we might be able to do a few other regions, but we're just kind of waiting to see how it pans out over the next few months. But the dates so far have been amazing, and I've been to Tasmania before, working on someone else's tour, and I loved it there. So I know you guys have got a great little festival down there, like a few actually, but so I've really keen to get down there if we can.
That would be great. We'll have to work on that, definitely. I know that we've gone over time again. I'm sorry. We always do. But there's lots of people commenting. Kaz says physical copy is always best. Absolutely. I'm a vinyl girl. I'm when we're finished here, I'm going for the pre-order of the vinyl because that excites me.
Are you going to get vinylly clear?
I'm going with vinylly clear. It's definitely the road I'm going down because that's something that I'll be teaching my niece and nephew. That'll be what you're known for. That's going to have to change the title for that. Just that print.
I think he wants to sneak it on because he's doing the art for the vinyl, which he's about to send off, and I think he's trying to sneak vinylly clear somewhere on. And I'm like, please don't, just please don't. So
even on the back, just somewhere little for people to have a look. I love that. It said that you're his favourite singer.
Yes, well, the only options in our family are really me or our children, and their songs are not that entertaining yet. So
they're not ready for vinyl. Soon. There's Jan has popped in and said hello. Cynthia is watching from Melbourne. Hi, Cynthia. Kaz said she's going to see you and Adam at Morwell in November.
Victoria, great! I can't wait. That would be amazing. Yeah, I think we're doing like maybe it's one Flaggy, Morwell, and it's gone far right.
You're doing very well too.
There's 3 in a row. I can't pick the last one. So, but there's 3. Bairnsdale.
Oh, Bairnsdale. Excellent. Well, if you don't go to Tassie, I might have to try and get to Melbourne to see it.
Yeah. Amazing. In a couple of weeks' time, but we're doing Memo Music Hall, so that's actually not this weekend but next weekend. So that might be too soon for you, but that's when we're doing Melbourne.
I'll see. I'm actually going to be in Queensland, I think, in the next few weeks. I don't know what's happening yet.
Amazing,
isn't it great? It's strange, actually. Yeah. To be honest, it feels weird now. Emma said that it was fantastic to meet you in Loxton.
Oh, thank you, Emma. We met so many people out on the road, and people have been so kind, like probably Emma, but like people just like who've never heard me before, and then coming in just like buying my record and saying anyway, it's been very lovely.
It's been so good. I know that it was such a hard year, COVID, but with all the time and all these releases coming, it's been great for people to hear new music. And people are really open to stuff and buying albums and helping support. It's been really good to see that change. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I know we always go over time, but it's been lovely having you again, and I cannot wait to have you back, hopefully sometime this year. Hopefully not 6 months.
I know. Let's make it sooner. Thank you again, Jenny. I appreciate it and love you guys at Country Kickback. So thank you so much, and hopefully I'll catch up with you at a show soon.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody. We will be back in 20 minutes' time with another show. We've got Shine joining us, so come along. That's a different sound again. So it's great to see some of the international acts coming through and wanting to do some live shows down here for us as well. So we'll see you all again very soon. I've got to find the right button to click. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. See you next time with the latest with Country Kickback.